Hey everybody. So I want to introduce you to this guy, James Harvey. This guy. Met him briefly at the UKIP rally in Nottingham back in June. Only briefly, just introduced myself. But yeah, seemed like a nice guy. So this guy has been organising several events, protests outside illegal immigrant hotels. As you can see, he's the founder of Students Against Tyranny, member of POB, whatever that is, journalist for Vox, Paul Media, and whatever that is. Join the revolution. So, it comes as no surprise that James has been arrested by the police. Just move this up here a bit. That's it. We'll play the video in a minute, but we'll just read this here statement. James Harvey, my boyfriend and founder of Students Against Tyranny, was arrested around 8 a.m. today before our protest in Bothorpe. Obviously, this is the state flexing its muscles yet again. So we'll play the video and we'll hear what his girlfriend has to say.
Morning everyone, what a wonderful day to wake up. So as I've already said, though the post is actually a little bit wrong, my bad, I was stressed and worrying. James Harvey, activist and journalist, many of you guys know him. He was arrested at about 8:05. I'll put the clip in a separate video and I'll upload it because I'm getting all the Ring doorbell footage now. He was arrested around 8:05 this morning. He'd only just woken up for the demo today because we went to bed about 2ish last night. He was arrested because of an offence that occurred on the 21st of July, so 5 days ago, when we would have been at the Dis Park Hotel, which many of you remember the protest. If not, it's all on both of our social medias and my YouTube. He allegedly called the migrants in the hotel foreign filth, and has made people feel fear for their lives. They came, so they didn't check the office, they checked a little bit downstairs. I had 4 officers in my room for a solid half hour whilst I wasn't even dressed properly. I was just in my pyjamas searching my room. They took a box of speaker microphones. They took my old 20-year-old laptop, which doesn't work, and they took his old phone, which doesn't work because he dropped it in the toilet last year. They also took his actual phone as well. So, sorry. That's a little bit of an update. He'll be okay. He's probably just going to be held until the protest ends because he was one of the organisers of the protest in Bothorpe today. If you are a Norwich local, please show up just to support not just James, but the women who have been followed around Breckland Park and the children who have been sexually harassed, and the filth have not turned up to help. And by filth, I mean police, before anyone tries to catch me out. That is the update on the situation. He's been taken to a station very close to me. It's about 5-minute drive up the road. So after the protest, we're going to be going and waiting for him because he is my boyfriend and I will be there no matter what for him. So I don't care if I have to wait all night and get locked in the police station. I'm going to be waiting for him. But I doubt he's going to be kept overnight. He's in custody now, and I will now be uploading the clip of him being arrested. I also want to say that Luke Sharman, which many of you will know because you saw the interview that I did with him, he was a former employee at the Brook Hotel and the Norwich Hotel, and he exposed them in an interview. I'll tag that interview under this post. He has been arrested this morning as well, pretty much exactly when James was arrested. But bear in mind, 6 officers ended up coming to our house at a private lane. So I have no idea how many officers came to Luke's house. He has been arrested on a fray. So, 2 people arrested this morning. If only the police cared this much about our children getting raped.
Right, so to me, this is all about shutting down opposition to these illegal immigrant hotels. This is to the state flexing its muscles. This is the government and the police aligning as one. This is the forefront to a police state where the police only do the will of the state. They don't police anymore. They're just the muscle of the state. They come down to suppress the people. And we're heading into this territory. We're now heading into territory that we would have seen in Soviet Russia, where we see find me the man and I'll find you the crime type of mentality. This situation that they're bringing up here, the excuse the police have used to arrest James is ridiculous. Obviously, it's just to take away the lead of the protest in the hopes that the protest won't go ahead. I think that they'll just slap extremely over the top bail conditions on him, forbidding him to go anywhere near a illegal immigrant hotel. He won't be allowed to go to any protests or anything like that. This is purely just to shut him down and to try and curb his leadership. This sort of tactic only has the opposite effect. It would have worked at one point, but with the state of the country now, people are very, very angry. People are going to see this, and it's just going to create more leaders. That's all this is going to do. This is a self-defeating tactic. We've seen it throughout history. The more the state tries to grip the people, the more the people slip through their fingers, and it's their downfall. This is to the police now as well. This is something they need to think about. They have a legal and moral obligation to question illegal orders. The law stops being the law when it stops being applied equally to everyone in a fair way. And that is starting to happen now. We don't see this happening to Antifa. Indeed, if you look at my videos that I've done on Antifa, where I've recorded interactions with Antifa and the police, they're not having their doors kicked in. They're going around masked up. The police are escorting them everywhere with masks on, and yet when it comes to patriots that are wearing masks, they're being asked to take their masks down. Evidence gatherers constantly gathering evidence against peaceful crowds for this type of thing. It's so they can go through hours of footage to root out a single thing that somebody has said to get them arrested. That's what they're doing it for. And yet we have masked thugs running around the streets, and yet the police just don't corral them, they don't do anything to them, just let them go. And in some instances, they actually escort them to the protests to cause trouble. The police need to realise, and I'm talking to the boots on the ground officers now, because this is something they need to understand. The Starmer regime isn't going to last forever. Indeed, it's on very wobbly legs at the minute anyway. When all this ends and the Starmer regime comes to an end, and it will come to an end, one way or another, via the ballot box or other means, it will come to an end. These officers need to realise, who do you think the blame for oppressing the people is going to be put against? Do you think it's going to be the police chiefs, the chief constables? Do you think it's going to be the politicians? Do you think it's going to be your commanding officers? Or do you think it's going to be you guys? Do you think they're going to throw you under the bus to save their own necks? Because the politicians and the chief constables will slime their way out of this. They will slime their way out of this. They will throw you under the bus to save their own necks. So you need to think hard and carefully about your actions during this current situation. Because just like ignorance of the law is no defence, saying I was just following orders is no defence either. You really need to think about this now. You have a legal and moral obligation to refuse orders which you feel are not in the spirit of the law and that go against moral obligations of the police, which a lot of this now does. And let's not forget that the hardliners that will come to my video saying the law is the law. Well, people like that can enable tyranny. If you feel the law is the law and it must be followed to the letter, that's how tyrannies are allowed to propagate. The law must be in a constant state of flux where it's constantly questioned to make sure it's moral and it's doing what it's supposed to do in protecting society and in no way becoming a force for bad, for evil, to suppress the population. Let's not forget, and I have to keep saying this, I have to reiterate this, because this is a prime example from history. The people hiding Anne Frank during the Second World War were breaking the law. The people who were pursuing her were following the law. The law by itself isn't moral. What makes the law moral is the way it's applied and what it's used to do. And currently, it's being used to oppress people's free speech and their ability to assemble and protest what's happening in this country. And it's wrong. This is Vindicator, signing off.